realizing that his time with the team that he was drafted and developed was over, and he's yelling at his teammates. Listen, last year Willie screamed at him and everybody loved it.
No,
I'm not going to.
Willie, it was Mitch, when he was on the bench and he threw his gloves down, that wasn't about Mitch. That was about Willie and Austin going at each other. It was.
Don't care.
No,
Whatever.
That doesn't matter.
I'd rather them, in all honesty, I'd rather somebody scream at somebody than just sit there and do nothing.
I agree.
Okay?
Well, you better not be talking about that Marner clip, because all year you've been telling us that you can't yell at your guys if you're playing like nothing.
But the game was over. His career as a Leaf is over there. He could do whatever he wants.
Okay.
He's going out his way.
What's his name? Berube is trying to fire them up. It was just a pretty frustrating situation for everybody.
It was over. It's just...
So you don't see any scenarios where he resigns?
Zero.
Yeah.
Zero. And I don't know. Did Drager put out something that he was offered $13.5 million times 8 by the Leafs?
Yep. I think I saw that.
Okay. Just imagine for a second he had signed that, and where would the fan base be on him today? And I told you guys that.
Mm-hmm.
He can't win.
Not here.
Not here. It's over.
Yeah.
It's over.
Okay? If he signed a $108 million contract and they lost the way they lost last night, come on.
He would
Come
be
on.
justifiably, absolutely obliterated.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, not leave the house. Give him a chance to go out.
But he just had a kid. Go
Right.
get away from all this and all the people around you and all the noise and just...
Yeah, and go try to win a cup.
For sure.
Go try to win a cup somewhere else.
Absolutely.
But, I got to tell you, Kipper, over the years, I've kind of felt like this regret take that, the second he leaves, I'm going to regret it. And it's going to... I watch a game in the playoffs with the Leafs for 9 years. If he goes somewhere else and figures it out in the playoffs,
Okay.
I will be capital S stunned, because it just has never looked good.
I won't be stunned, but I will say...
He's going to pull a Kadri and win a cup somewhere else.
For sure. I think that probably
That'd be
happens.
the Leafiest outcome for sure.
I do think that it happens, but I don't think the Leafs will look at that and Leafs fans will look at that and go, they were fools for letting him go. They'll go, why couldn't he have done it when he was here?
Because they couldn't figure it out up top. That's why.
No,
He's up top.
But he...
No.
He's
The
supposed to. He's the
decision
engine.
makers couldn't figure it out.
So he can't...
They were 4 guys that you put $50 million into a payroll, and none of them could play playoff hockey.
But does he
None of them.
Was there no blame at all for him here, Kip?
1/4
Okay.
of the blame. Okay? At the end of the day, out of the 4 that he was the least highest paid, he was 4th on the payroll. Okay?
Well, this year, but not the previous 8.
We haven't
Yeah.
even mentioned Willie. Okay? Willie was a
we're not
dog the last 4 games.
We're not talking
No
about Willie,
show.
Kipper. This is what it always is.
But why are you
it's always,
talking
what
about Willie?
that guy? Because
Why?
because whenever we want to talk about Mitch, it becomes, yeah, but look at them. It's like a political, whataboutism thing. It's like, we're
They
not...
don't work together.
I agree.
Okay?
Totally agree with that.
My point is, the 4 guys never work together. Everybody, Mitchie's like a brother to me. Oh, really?
Show it on the
Yeah.
ice.
Yeah, that's what you do to your brother on the ice. That's the way you guys stick together. Okay, it never worked. Okay, and they couldn't realize it up top that they don't have the personalities, they don't have the character to all work together towards a Stanley Cup. They all went their separate ways. Give me my contract. Give me my no moves. Give me my commercials. Give me this. Give me that. Okay? It was as if they were one-upping each other for 10 years. And you couldn't figure out the whole time that they're not coming together. They're all just do your own thing. Ask for your own contract and make sure you're looked after. And then they get the results of that, and we're going to blame one individual or 2 individuals. No, I'm sorry. It goes upstairs. Bad decision to put these 4 guys together and expect them to lead you to a Stanley Cup.
Here's what I wrote in my article today. I said, ultimately, the core 4 era was fun, but fell flat. They got great players who are young, immature, and prideful, who instead of seeing one another as mutual load-bearing pillars, building some great cathedral of success, fought to be the steeple, visible and above the whole. They all wanted to be the one. They all wanted to be the one that said, "This is my team. I'm the star." They wanted to be the name that comes before the band name, sort of thing.
And now
rather than seeing each other as a group.
One guy. We're just going to blame one guy
No,
or
but
two
he's
guys.
getting his blame. He's getting his piece of the pie. He's eating it right now.
When do we get to Willie? When do we get to John Tavares? When do we get to
Willie's under contract in here? Marner's leaving. That's why we're talking about him.
Yeah.
Willie also led the team in points and had big moments in the playoffs.
Where were they the last 4 games?
The same place as Mitch, who we're talking about right now. I mean, we'll get there.
We
will
just
get there.
the wrong guys to ask to do this.
And
in the end, you're right.
That's it.
And the heartbreaking thing is that the Dubas firing, when he got fired, when that all happened, was the window to recoup on Mitch.
Totally.
And they brought in a fresh set of eyes, which turned out to be the worst possible thing, where Treliving comes in and he's got a week to figure out one of the biggest moves in the history of the franchise, and he's still trying to figure out if his key cards work. And Mitch Marner's no trade thing kicks in, and then the rest is history.
It would have taken big cojones to make the call at that time, and they didn't show him.
And he came in, and he was fooled just like everybody else, being like, oh, look at these 4 guys. Why would I trade? These guys are great. Why would I trade any of them? And then it just didn't work. So,
Yeah, they got
my
boxed
God.
in.
It's 4-4.
They got boxed in. Okay, let's take a quick break. We got another.
Oh my God.
We got another segment to go on.
We only have 5 more shows to go, boys.
Only 5 more
more
to go.
Leafs hour.
All right, more on the Toronto Maple Leafs when we return to the Leaf Hour edition of the Real Kipper and Bourne Show. Welcome back to the program. Nick Kiprios, Justin Bourne, Sammy McKee. Leaf Hour edition, never broken later in our 4-year history in the last block.
Junk.
How we doing, boys?
We're doing good.
Home.
Breathe. Okay. It got so bad last night that your opposition felt sorry for you.
I hated this.
This is the darkest part of this. Brad Marchand, can you please play Austin clip 2 on the Leaf fan pressure?
Yeah, I think it's easy to have to go into games and have different mindsets. I don't know what their mindset was. I can't speak to that, but I know that our mindset, we have a ton of belief in the system that we play and the depth of our group and the experience in these moments. Going through before, obviously you talk about it, but it's invaluable experience when you go through moments like this and you've been through these moments before and a lot of guys in the team have won cups, and when you win a cup and you play in some of the games that this team played in last year, like these are not high pressure games. When you're playing for an actual cup and you give up a 3-game lead and then you're in game 7, like that's a high pressure game, right? So in game 7, second round, yeah, it's a high pressure game, but it's not compared to some other games that guys have played. So when you actually look at that, and then when you see the pressure that Toronto faces and everyone's talking about whatever the 20, 30-year build-up, I don't even know what it is, but you see the fans and the way they're talking, like they just beat the pressure into this team. And it's got to be tough on those guys to walk to the rink every day and not feel that, because you see the way the fans treat them at the end, like, how do you not feel that every single day? And when you go through big games, like you realize which are actually big games and which are just, big moments.
You want to comment on that?
Woof.
Or do you want to go to Maurice?
Maurice is long too.
That's fine.
Okay, let's forget Maurice.
No, it's good, unfortunately.
Okay,
Let's
then we'll
play
cut it off
Clip
halfway.
Clip 4, please.
What's great for the league is hard for the Toronto Maple Leafs and their players, right? The passion for the Toronto Maple Leafs, the scrutiny that these men are under is why everybody